Good Friday morning.
We made it, Steve.
Second Friday in a row after our Sunday schedule or our summer schedule. I should say, look, I'm messing up right off the bat here, Dale.
Yeah, but your good morning was right on point.
Just excited today, folks.
Yeah.
Book your Super Bowl tickets now. And I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and he's never seen a quarterback play as well as he did yesterday, and he played with a guy named Troy Aikman for all those years. And three-time Super Bowl champion, 17 years in the NFL as well. Dale Hellestrae, everybody.
Good morning, Stephen.
Forget about the helicopter trip to Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Helicopter trip to L.A. for the Super Bowl.
Are we canceling the Royal Rumble?
Because we can't. I can't do both.
I'm just throwing all our funds towards the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're going to need those for those tickets.
Yeah. Front and center, media row.
How you doing today, Dale?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a lot happier than I thought I would be. But again, and I know we'll get into it, but again, just as you get the Valley, we can't have nice things. You get the Cardinals. You watch that.
Sorry about that.
You watch that show, and super pumped, super excited. We'll get into that.
Yep.
But then you get a mix in of the Diamondbacks. And you get a mix in of the Suns.
I didn't even pay attention to the Diamondbacks. I saw the score, and I was like, all right, I'm on this Cardinal high right now.
Yes, and I'm not going to let anybody bring me down. But again, it's one step forward. Now it's two steps back.
Yeah.
But, hey, great game last night for the Arizona Cardinals.
I was going in with, okay, you guys know this. They drafted him. I came in on that Monday morning, and I was like, look, folks, this kid needs a shot. We need to see what this kid can do. His pedigree in college is unmatched. He's done nothing but play in big games. Dale, he was in the SEC for, a bunch of years at Georgia. Yeah, he was a backup for a couple championships. But I'm sorry, that's just a learning process. He's cool as can be. You saw it last night. I came away impressed. And you're looking at a guy that already thinks this guy should get a very good chance. If they start off 1-5, 0-6, I don't care. This kid should be starting. Let's see what he can do. That's my thought process. I'm so high on this kid because I want to see what he can do. I'm not saying he's taking us to a Super Bowl. I'm not saying he's solving the problems. You're going to win 13 games this year with him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we know what we have at Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. And Dale, during that game last night was like, this kid might be better than I thought.
As I told you yesterday, when you said, well, what are you looking for? I was looking for the play to come into the huddle, the play to be called, break in the huddle, looking like you played football before. And they did that on steroids.
I can't even get it. We can get so far into the weeds if we want to on this. We have a head coach here, folks.
Yeah.
As opposed to Gannon and his nonsense, Cliff Kingsbury and his nonsense. I mean, he's on that sideline. Some of those play calls, he's like, hey, Carson Beck, see if you can complete this pass. Yeah. And Carson's like, okay, no problem, coach. Carson Beck, end of the first quarter, he's walking to the other end, smiling on the field. He was like, they did this video shoot. They did the shot when he'd walking up to the huddle, like on his second drive, I think maybe it was his first drive, and he's walking out, breaks the huddle, and he's walking up to the line. He's doing something veterans do, Dale. He's literally looking at the defense, eyes focused, not a question in his eye what play's about to rerun. He stopped, he went under center, pulled his arms back out, looked around, did a couple things, went back under center again, took the snap. I'm like, this isn't a rookie out here, folks. He was throwing it into windows that veteran quarterbacks struggle to throw it in. The greats do it consistently. Other ones, hit or miss. And last night, he was just throwing them in there. Now, it's a secondary that, not the starters. I get all that stuff. I don't care who you are. He was out there playing with Miami again or Georgia yesterday. He was just like, let's go. It's like he's been in this system for 10 years. That's what it looked like in my eyes. And then the coaching staff, the plays that are going in there, the way he handles the situation. He's smiling on the sideline. He's not the statue that Gannon was, just crossed arms the whole time. Only time he showed emotion is DeMarcado when he fumbled that ball in the end zone. Other than that, he just stood there. We dubbed him the statue around here. LaFleur's up and down the sideline. He's talking. The camera, unfortunately, went to him like 3 times when he's throwing F-bombs at somebody, which was beautiful to see. Dale, it was just all around excitement for a team that's going to win 3 games.
I couldn't be more impressed with the product they put on the field. Talking about the Cardinals last night. I'm taking the over.
I already put the money down. I had 3.5.
I know you did, yeah. but I'd say double that. Go from $5 to $10, Steve.
I could also tell you a lot of people are doing it because I looked yesterday with Lou. It's a negative number now. When I took it, it was a plus number.
Yeah.
Now it's like negative. I think it was negative 150 yesterday on DraftKings. So a lot of people are taking the over 3.5 on the Cardinals this year. Yeah,
it was
because
just,
the lines changed a little bit.
It was one of those things to where I knew what I was looking for. I wasn't going to grade anybody's personal performance.
Yeah,
you couldn't help but look at what Carson Beck did, and some of the throws, the composure, the way that it looked like. This did not look like a first preseason game.
No, that's what I took away from it. That was the most enjoyable Hall of Fame game I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. I mean, again, I don't remember all of them.
They're usually sloppy and ugly and crappy. And what are we doing? But even the Panthers looked good. That King kid came in.
Yep.
And you were just like, who's this guy? You know, it was just fun. I mean, then it was funny because Tirico and I just forgot Collinsworth. They're literally doing it like it's a Super Bowl game. They're calling it like seriously. And like in the first quarter, Tirico's like, hey, Chris, don't start a controversy here yet. We're only 1 drive into this thing. They were just giddy at what they were seeing. They probably were going into this going, another Hall of Fame game. Let's just practice this, get our interviews done, and move on with their life. They were even like, what is happening out there?
Yes.
It just felt different. That's all I'm going to say. It felt different, which
refreshingly
different.
Coming
off of what we dealt with the statue the last 3 years. Oh, my God, it's a breath of fresh air.
I mean, I put our head coach up against all the other head coaches as far as good looking. Yeah, I think he's right in the top 5.
I think it was Autumn. Somebody said, I think it was Autumn, but somebody was like, yeah, Carson Beck, what is he, 12? And then they go to LaFleur and he looks younger than Carson Beck does. I mean, just as an overview, I mean, like I said, I'm having fun with it on the Super Bowl talk and stuff like that. But if that doesn't tell you about preparation that this team is going into it, they suffered with preparation the last several years under Gannon. This team came into that game last night prepared. These guys that aren't making the team came in prepared. They were hitting even in the late games. There's some guys that have to worry about their job. If you were playing in the second half of this game, and there was a couple big name guys in that second half of that game, Dale.
Yeah.
B.J. Ojulari, for one.
He's in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Not good. Get on tape, kid, because he's been injury prone his whole career. If you don't know his history, very, very injury prone throughout the years that he's been with the Cardinals, right, and stuff like that. But even then, oh my God, what was it? It's either 93 or 95. That's a big son of a gun. The nose tackle. That's the backup nose tackle behind Roy Lopez right now on the depth chart. Excuse me. That guy's a beast, Dale. Did you see him move some of those offensive linemen yesterday?
No.
Telling you, man. Look at L.A.
Again, I was not going to sit there and grade individual performances. I want to see how. And there's not one thing that I would take away. They went on long scoring drives.
Yeah. Moved the ball.
They threw the ball down the field. They threw the ball underneath. They handed the ball off. There were some lanes to run through. And it just looked like they knew what they were doing. And so many times,
the preparation.
Even in the regular season, last couple of years, you've looked at it and went, so helter-skelter.
Yeah, there were games that I'd show up to and sit down in the first drive. You're like, did you guys even practice?
Right.
The going into this game?
Heck, you might as well have a fan call the first
Seriously.
script the first
Seriously.
series.
And this is the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
And they looked like they were like this was week 15 and they walked into this game prepared to play it.
Yep.
And you don't see that in these types of games. Watch a lot of NFL preseason football here coming up for the rest of the team, especially third and fourth quarter. A lot of snoppiness, a lot of not bad. Dude, Chase Basanis, the draft pick, the lineman, he's grading. He's just running over guys on that Carolina Panthers offensive line. These backup linemen, I'm looking at it going, there's not a big drop off between, there's a drop off. Don't get me wrong, from Paris Johnson to there's not that huge of a drop off that you've seen in years past where guys are jumping off sides and stuff like that and things. It was just that impressive of a first game coming into this, just from the coaching staff to everybody. And if you don't have to believe me, even Dale, you don't have to believe me on this. Their coach noticed what was going on there. Like I said, I'm reserved on LaFleur right now. This is a preface here to let everybody know, if you haven't seen us before or heard my comments on it, I'm reserved on LaFleur. I think he's more of a player's coach, a la Cliff Kingsbury, which worries me. Right? It just worries me a little bit because, he could kind of give in to some guys and then, and have some of those issues. But I tell you this, he just impresses me beyond belief. He just has all along. His play calling last night, what was that fourth down play? And he just lobs it up and the receiver ends up dropping it. Like, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen a play call like that on fourth down. Every other fourth down for the last 3 years, Detroit Lions, get used to this. A fourth down call was a little flare out for tackle for 2-yard loss for the last 3 years under Penzing and that regime. And it's 4th and 5, Dale, and he lobs one 20 yards down the field that the receiver should have caught. He was knocked out of his hand, but he should have caught it. And I'm just sitting there going, holy crap, an actual play call on 4th and 5. What just happened? I was losing my mind. I was just losing my mind on it, folks. And it's a stupid preseason game, Dale.
15 of 19 for 188 yards and a touchdown.
Oh. Yeah, like you said, long drives, commanded the what impressed me the most was, as I said, intangible things you're not going to see. Now, there's some fundamental things I noticed, but, okay, those are easy to fix out there. I get it. And stuff like that. He had 3 rushing yards, which he's not a rushing quarterback per se, and everything. But he had the 2 touchdowns and 1 field goal on the 3 scoring drives that he had there as well. But it's the intangibles that you go look at the box score today, and you're not going to notice. There was no confusion in his eyes. He wasn't seeing ghosts, Dale.
No.
The game wasn't too fast for him yesterday. And say what you want. A lot of those guys on the field aren't all rookies, right, that he just got done playing college with. There was a lot of veterans out there last night. He wasn't phased. He had that one play down toward the end zone. He calls it. And literally just the whole defense is rushing him. He just casually just throws it down to the feet of the running back.
Right.
Just casually, bloop. A rookie in those situations are usually like, oh, crap, and they kind of didn't even faze him. Just no concern in his eyes. He was having fun out there. You don't believe me? Well, let's talk to back here on. Now, he said he wasn't nervous going into the game, which we were calling bullcrap on, because I don't care who you are.
Yes.
So then you go out there, and then, like I said, Hall of Fame game's kind of like a Monday Night Football game. Yes, it's preseason, but it's a standalone game.
Yes.
And every player's. Think of the greats that were on that sideline last night. You saw them all throughout the game. The greats that were standing there. The guys going into that. Drew Brees. If you're Carson Beck, you know who Drew Brees is.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up, right? Especially a kid from that area knows who Drew Brees is. And he's standing on the sideline watching you perform in your first NFL game. Then your whole team is talking about Larry and you're wearing 11 shirts out there. Then you got Roger Craig and all these guys that you may not have seen play because you're so young, but they're all standing there. That's how special this game is. That spotlight, he was just like, what spotlight? Let's go. Amazing. But he talked after the game. Just look how he did this in the national championship game as well. In the national championship game, I was like, he might be a little too relaxed. This is him yesterday. Carson Beck after the game on his first game.
Shoot, from the time that you cross the white lines and you're out there on the first play, I was ready to roll. Since last night when I was laying in bed, I could barely sleep, just thinking about having the opportunity to play football again, just never taking it for granted. Ever since I went through the injury, the surgery, and, had to get my UCL repaired and everything, I don't know, just having gratitude for the game and every opportunity that I get is just something that, I've really found faith in. So I was ready to roll.
Okay, something very important here that I got to ask the 17-year NFL veteran. That is a perspective of somebody late in their career, and he has it in his first Hall of Fame game.
Well, the way I look at it, and we've talked about this before, the fact that when you say you're not taking things for granted, well, he missed a season because of an ACL.
Mm-hmm. He changed his whole attitude after that, too.
And once because again, if you just play 4 years of high school football and you played Pee Wee and then you go into college, you play 4 years of college, you play 10 years in a row of football.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of take it for granted. Yeah, okay, it's August, time to start playing football.
That's what you do, right?
I do it. But you get it taken away from you against your will. Injury, I'm talking about specifically. And a lot of times what it does is it refocuses you. It allows you to remember just how much fun this game is, just how important it is to you, and you understand every moment might be your last, and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this.
But you don't see it in young kids. They might have it, but they don't say it in a press conference after a game of their first start when they play that well. I was racking my brain last night thinking of first-time press conferences of quarterbacks specifically.
Well, you told me he's 32, so he's not talking like he's a rookie quarterback.
He's not 32.
26, 27, and again, I get such a kick out of all that.
He's a medical doctor. He was in school for so long.
I mean, I argue with people, not argue, but disagree with people, and we'll have conversations. These people go, well, you can't bring up the 25-year-old pitcher because he's 25.
Yeah, exactly. He's too old.
I said, I've always said this, it's okay, 26-year-old quarterback. If he gives you 6 or 7 good years, I don't care that you're not going to. If these people go, no, I want a 10 to 15-year career out of my quarterback.
Dale, it's like the NFL or the NBA, man, where they won't draft a kid who's 22 years old.
He's old.
But they'll draft an 18-year-old that can't even wipe his own nose yet, and you have no idea what kind of player he's going to be, but you know what the 22-year-old is going to be good.
Yes.
And they won't draft that kid because, he's too old.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. It's just, you just sit here and you watch this kid. You saw his mannerisms on the field getting outside the game, and it's just, like, I just wonder if LaFleur was like, all right, let's throw another difficult play at him and see what he does. Let's just do this. Let's see what he does. And he handled his first drop. It was in a tight window. The receiver should have caught it, but the defender did a good job of knocking it down. But I'm like, rookies who throw those passes are rookies that have a lot of interceptions. He put that ball where only the defender can knock it down, where only his receiver can get it, or it's going to be incomplete. It's just, there's a level there. And I put it out after the game yesterday, and I've talked about it since they've drafted him, and my thing on Carson Beck. And like I said, I'm not saying you should start the season over Brissett. I'm saying when the season goes south, you got to see him out there. And I can tell you this, fans are going to be clamoring for Beck now.
Okay, well, why can't you say if the season goes
Because we all know what's going to happen. We all know how it's going to start.
Steve, let us dream for a day.
If Carson Beck starts still, we can dream all we want.
No, I'd rather dream about it for a little bit than be hit in the face with it.
But I think last night showed you all. But you got to remember something. Most Fernandez with the Raiders had a really good college career, and then last year in Indiana stepped it up to another level, stratosphere level. But not a dominant. Carson Beck was going to championship games as a backup. Then he played in championship games. Then he goes to Miami, one pass away from winning the Natty, right? And it's a turnover, so he loses it. Stuff to that effect. This kid, you could just see it. This kid was like, Just another game. Let's go. We talked about it with the World Cup, with the U.S. team against Belgium. Belgium was like, just another big game. We do these all the time because their players are all on top-level teams. And the U.S. was like, woo, spotlight bright, spotlight bright. And that's what also amazed me about the game last night. Defense was spotty at times, and things to that. But overall on this team, that spotlight was not big for anybody out there. They came in prepared, and that's what just stuck with me.
Yep.
They came in prepared
and the whole thing
to
is,
play.
You can come in prepared, but there can still be choppiness. The play. Hold on. It took an extra 2 seconds to get the play in. Now it takes 2 seconds to call it. Now all of a sudden you're up against the clock.
Or you're having to, you're lined up on the wrong side. Like I said yesterday, you're going to see sometimes where the receivers are going to run a wrong route or something or something. Now, like I said, I get with you. I didn't chart the game. I didn't watch it intensely like that. I was more like in the feel of it and seeing just what I could see. I didn't see any of that stuff. Nothing stood out where I was like, man, he's not on the same page with that guy.
Right.
Not at all. Then the receivers are doing out routes, running open down the field. That first one, that long one there to that receiver, I forget who it was off the top of my head right now. Dale, how many people overthrow that ball because they get excited that he's so wide open?
Right.
He put it in stride with the guy. And he took a big hit on top. He put the ball where he could catch it, lean down, and absorb the hit and put a kind of a hit on him. He wasn't being affected by it, right? I went back to Matt Leinart in that day where Matt Leinart was terrible at protecting receivers. He would just throw it and then they get lit up. Larry got lit up one time in a preseason game because of it. Carson Beck threw that ball to where his receiver could catch it, prepare for the hit, and even lay a little bit of a lick before he gets laid out. It's just the team, the coaching staff, and it's either, Dale, this is what we got to figure out. It's either we've been deprived from good things for the last 3 years with the statue and that regime, and so we're just floored that it's normal again, or there's something special brewing here in the first season.
And if I'm sitting here just looking at it, I was shocked at how smooth everything looked. Again, the right guard, left guard, right tackle might have gotten beat a few times, and there's some concerns here and there. But it looked like they were running lanes. It looked like they were a pocket most all the time.
Yeah.
When there was a little bit of pressure, it looked like he could step around a little bit.
Well, that's what I said. I think it was like in the second quarter. I go, Carson Beck's had a clean pocket today, which regular season they're going to be blitzing more and stuff like I said. You got to take this in stride here. But for game one, Hall of Fame game, better than expected.
Absolutely.
And unbelievable to see it. I loved it 100%. Don't believe me on Carson Beck? I can only tell you guys so much. I was coming in and out the draft. I told you about Carson Beck. And, a lot of people were putting, Carson Beck has an attitude and has rubbed his Georgia teammates wrong and he needed a change from Georgia. Which that all happened. Okay, great. But I'm like, that's what people focus on. I even saw one clown last night complaining about his fake handoffs there for the holy cow, I just forgot it. Where you go back and you fake
play
the handoff,
action?
play action. Thank you. I saw one clown last night. Oh, look at that! This isn't gonna fool a pro linebacker out there. That's what you have to nitpick on this kid.
Yeah,
Seriously, you're going to that level nitpicking right now. Seriously, and also. A lot of quarterbacks hand the ball off, fake the handoff that way, folks. Not all of them sell it like the greats. Some of the greats have done over the years, like Brett Favre and stuff like that. But that's how perfect it was going into it. It was so much fun. But you don't want to believe me? Here's LaFleur on Beck and his expectations.
Good, but not surprised. It's the same guy that I felt like you saw watching the tape. Didn't watch a lot of them, I would say, live on Saturdays by any means, because I don't watch a ton of college football in the moment. But he's been in so many big moments. This was a really cool environment. I'm glad that we got to play in this, and you never know if you're ever going to be able to play in one of these again. So, albeit a preseason game, it doesn't count in the win-loss. But it was a cool environment, and for him to just kind of, hey, it's just another game, and that's the way he took it. And he's been in big ones, and I think that's just kind of how his mindset works.
Well, and he's going to learn very quickly that Tylenol PM works the night before. especially when you have to sit around all day.
Doesn't that make you groggy the next day, though, when you wake
no,
up?
You can take a shower, you're ready to go.
But I mean, even the coach right there says what I say about Carson Beck. It's just another game for him. He's been in these moments. Now, like I said, if he was starting week 1, I don't expect it to go that well. NFL defenses, starting defenses are completely different from what you see last night. But what I saw last night was not just Carson Beck, better than I thought he would be, and I thought he'd be good. The whole team as a whole. We saw structure to a team. We saw enthusiasm with the team. We saw guys loving to play the game of football last night. We haven't seen that lately around here.
Looked like they were having fun. Looked like they liked each other.
They were smiling out there.
Yeah.
I saw Bissonis literally took this dude out on the defensive line. The rookie just took this dude out. Literally, another offensive lineman walked over to him and was like, "Good job, kid." Yeah, and then walked. And I was like, "We've never seen that before." Carson Beck's one of the running backs. I can't remember how exactly it went down, but one of the running backs ran a play, and I think he missed his hole. He stood up. Carson Beck had a little conversation with him before they went in the huddle. As a first game as a rookie, he goes, "Hey, kid." Now, and granted, it's not James Conner, it's not Algier, it's not those guys. But he literally has a conversation with the kid, and he taps him on the helmet afterwards, and they go in the huddle and do the play call.
Yeah.
What? It just shows you, and then just the play calls. I can't. The 4th down play call, Dale. I couldn't. I was running around I was just running around my house. Did they just throw it deep on 4th and 5? It wasn't a 3-yard loss. Detroit enjoyed that part of your offense this year. So anyway, that was my evening last night. That was so much fun.
And again, super, super, super surprised and excited about it. But then it'll always be, then you come back to reality a little bit. Hey, we could be coming in here and they could have had 15 penalties and 3 false starts and 2 delay games. And then
It's not going to go this well every game.
No. And it always goes back to, I was telling the story because I went and watched the game with 3 or 4 buddies since I was invited down to the East Valley.
Thanks for the invite.
I decided to go watch with some friends who actually asked me. So
we could have driven over there.
And we were I was talking. I remember distinctly Troy saying in 1989, the year they won 1 game, and it wasn't until like the second to last game of the season.
And he had like 300 sacks that year.
They went undefeated in the preseason.
Yeah.
And, they played to win because nobody knew. Jimmy and his staff, they played to win. And they were
set the tone, Dale.
And Troy remembered talking about it and going, "Hey, we thought we had this thing licked."
Yeah.
And then we played New Orleans in the first first regular season game of the year, and they weren't very good.
Yeah.
And they beat us 21-0.
But
28-0.
But I'm willing to bet you if you go back to the Cowboys preseason series and stuff like that, a lot of mistakes, a lot of that type of stuff was happening out there. Like I said, it's just the feel good. And like I said, I have no expectation. If they go 4-0 in the preseason, I'm just going to have fun with the Super Bowl, run and stuff like that and things. But like you said, it's like my NBA Summer League thing. You better go and look good in the Summer League because you're playing against guys you should be better against. And if you're struggling in the Summer League, same thing last night, same thing going into here. And look, the Panthers, I'm not going to lie to you, Panthers looked good last night for a first game for them as well. And, for the backups and stuff like that. And I'll be watching a lot of preseason football. It's going to be rare that we see what we saw last night from these other teams.
Right.
Whether they don't take it seriously, they're just not as focused out there, stuff to that effect. It's going to be interesting to see as we go on there. And they have the Raiders next in Vegas. Yeah, we'll break that down coming up.
Yeah, we got a whole week to.
But seriously, this is what I'm worried about. Last year, right? They lost 3 games with last second scoring at the end of the game. What happened last night?
Oh,
right off the bat, Dale.
Whatever.
Right off the bat, last second loss. Here we go. Here comes the problem. Also, I got to give this Slovis look good too. He ain't making the team, but local
Yeah, he was
kid.
9 to 10.
Yeah, local kid. Yeah. And if you don't know, he went to high school here. Went to like 17 different colleges, including USC at one point.
Desert
and
Mountain
everything.
High School.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't look bad yesterday out there as well. But I mean, there's no spot for him. But yeah, so I don't know. That was fun last night. Even Ann said she chimed in on the YouTube chat out there and says, "I loved the energy." And that's why I'm like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Did it stand out because we looked like we knew what we were doing last night, meeting the Cardinals, compared to the Gannon years of the statue? And just the constant, I would have made that play call 17 times. Every time out there, I'd make that same play call. But it wasn't a good play call. LaFleur last night, on that play I was talking about, where he took the snap and like the whole defense was in his face and he just calmly laid it at the running back's feet. He goes, I made a bad play call right there. And look how he handled it.
Right.
You know, and LaFleur's willing to go to the microphone and say, okay, I messed up on this. I messed up on this. And take responsibility for it. And we sat there with Gannon every last year going, he was like, I would have done that. I'd do that every time. I'd do that every time. Really? You throw a game-losing interception on a terrible play every time? Good luck, Green Bay. Good luck, Green Bay, with him on top of it as well. Robert says they actually look like an NFL team.
Yeah.
That's what I took away from it, too. Tirico and Collinsworth. You see a lot of high-powered, really good football teams. We're just like, this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you know going into that, Dale, they were like, do the best we can to get through this. We have a lot of stuff we got to talk. They probably had papers and papers of stuff to talk about that they didn't get to because they could enjoy the game and talk about the good stuff happening out there, and it's enough to that effect.
Or, hey, you know what? We can extend the Hall of Fame interviews with the guys when they come out to the booth.
Exactly, Drew Brees. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Drew, can you stick around for another segment, please? Did you see the one with this was a great part of it. I love the interviews themselves. I just like watching the players because they're being enshrined into the Hall of Fame. It's a big deal. But you see the one with Luke Kuechly, and they brought Greg Olsen in. And if you don't know, they kind of grew up in the same area in outside in North Carolina, Charlotte area, and they're all involved with high school football now.
Right.
And I think it was Collinsworth said that he went down there for a golf tournament, expecting to be like talk a lot of NFL with people and stuff. And he said it was nothing but high school football talk. And Kuechly lit up like nobody has lit up before, and goes, "That's all that matters now. Like nothing else matters to me." And Greg Olsen was like, "I agree." And Greg Olsen's a high-end announcer in NFL circles, and he was like, "Yeah, I agree, man." And the high school football now, and it was just so great to see them light up on that high school football side of it, and not get kind of caught up in the NFL and the college stuff. That they're just like, no, we're having so much fun with this high school side of it, and taking that seriously and running that stuff. I thought that was a fantastic part of the interview as well out there. So.
Well, the first thing I noticed about Luke Kuechly is he looked like he's about 185 pounds and a head that is on a 250 pounder.
Dale. He looks tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, he was always short, but he was big. He was a big dude when he was playing. He obviously isn't lifting like he used to. He's very slimmed down. But Dale, he put his hand up at one point, and it was like the whole size of his head. Like
Yeah.
Autumn was like, his hand is the size of his head,
Yeah.
bigger than his head. I'm like, yeah, welcome to NFL Live. I don't think people realize unless you get close to them. Like even when I'm at the stadium, you see them out there, and they're just big. But I don't think people realize NFL linebackers are like, I call them the beast of the field. They're like linemen and defensive linemen. They're tall and they're big, but they're big in different ways. A linebacker is like the man's man. Like just stacked, solid muscle because they're just laying people out. They're having to run all over the field. They're like in the best. I've just always had that view of linebackers. They'll probably disagree.
I always saw his offense.
Yeah, see, I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like what, and to see him, and they did his video package on the field, and they had that close up, and he laid some dude out.
Oh, yeah.
And like it didn't even look like he hit him though, Dale. He was just running, and he's just like bloop, the guy went flying across the
So those are the best ones, Steve, because guess what? You don't even feel it.
I didn't even look like he was trying. It just looked like
you wrecked the other guy's life for a minute.
seriously. I don't know who it was because they didn't show up, but that guy just went. And that guy had momentum too, and he just went backwards quickly. And it was just like it didn't even look like he was hitting him, man.
Well, I told my buddies I was with, I said, see that right there? His head is too big for his body. And I said, that's what I'm toying with right now. I can't lose any more weight. I got a 300-pound head.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He looked like he could still play some position out there.
What, kicker?
Yeah,
Come on.
It's a position. No, that's what cracks me up, man. Like, and all he's doing is not lifting as heavy weights and stuff like that.
Not eating as much.
Yeah, and it's just like, my dear God, you just like the Hulk, man. You just slim down to that. Autumn says, can confirm that was the happiest I've ever seen Steve watching a preseason game.
Yeah.
Seriously, it was just an enjoyment. Just an enjoyment that we have a coaching staff, folks. We have a professional coaching staff and not a statue.
Certainly looked like everything was in place.
Yeah, it was amazing. Now, Nathaniel Hackett, we're gonna be singing his praises coming up here.
Well, I also heard them talking that obviously you got Matt Schaub as the quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's doing. You got the head coach who's an offensive coordinator too.
Yeah. No, that's the difference with this staff compared to other staffs that we've had here in the Cardinals land, is they have bona fide, real coaching staff. BA had that as well. Arians had that. But Gannon, right?
Right.
No, I kept saying, bring in a consultant, somebody sitting on a couch somewhere that has 30 years of football experience at the NFL level on the offensive side. Call that guy up, overpay him to come in and consult with you during the week to figure out how to get this offense moving and the doldrums out of it. And they refused to do it for whatever reason. It might have been money. It might have been they didn't feel they need to do it, which I think it's more that. And now you got, say what you want about Hackett. He's really good as long as he's not in charge of stuff. And he's not in charge of stuff here.
Right.
He's not play calling. He's the talent evaluator. He's getting the thing. And you saw last night, and then like you said, Matt Schaub wasn't the greatest quarterback in the world, but multiple years of starting experience.
Well, and the thing that I've always get a crack or a laugh out is when you hear about, oh, well, he wasn't that good of a football player, but he's a really good coach. Well, guess what? The reason why he got to the NFL was because he's probably fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
He knew where the ball was going. He knew what to do. He anticipated all those other because he didn't have the natural ability.
Exactly.
So I'm a better coach.
Yeah, and you can explain it. That's the thing. Superstars like Magic Johnson, when he was an NBA coach, couldn't explain to people how to play basketball because to him it was just natural.
Just
throw the ball behind your back, and it goes right to the guy.
Just look through your ear, and you'll see him streaking down the court.
Yeah, it's rare that you do that and stuff, but it's kind of like catchers become good managers in baseball because they have to know everything out there. Quarterbacks, kind of the same thing out there as well. So it was a lot of fun dealing with. It was just so much fun last night for a preseason game. It just gets me. Well, one, it's always good to be validated on your opinion on a certain kid. That's always good.
Oh, brother.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Oh.
I avoided Twitter because I was like, yeah, everybody's going to be jumping on the Carson Beck bandwagon, man. I was like, it's getting crowded. I didn't even go to Twitter last night during it because I was like, I don't want to see it all. Ann says, hopefully these trips to Glendale this season are more pleasant than the last few. That's the problem. I can handle, I will still think it's worthwhile, Dale, to get in my car, fight the traffic, get to Glendale, fight the traffic home, even if the Cardinals lose, if they're in it and they're fighting and they're playing hard.
Right.
Because I still get to see the other team. I still get to see players I want to see. Where I found I can't stand it, and the Cardinals have taught me this lesson, is when you're going to a game and you're down 21-0 and 5 minutes into the game and you've had no effort. Then it's not worth getting in your car and driving across town and seeing them play. I think, even though they lose a lot, I think they're going to be competitive. Competitive meaning effort, and they're not going to quit on this coach. I've said it on this program already. That's why I think they're going to go over 3.5. The end of the year, they're not quitting. They could be 0-11 at one point, and I still think they'll get over 3.5 because their schedule goes up against the Jets, the Raiders, and those types of teams, and they're not going to quit on their coach.
They have 5 of the last 6 games at home.
Yeah, they're on the road, freaking 6 of the first 9 or something
Right.
like that. Like, hey, Dale, I don't know. Maybe you could tell us. Is winning on the road easy in the NFL?
No.
Yeah, and they're on the road against playoff quality teams, except for the Giants and Cowboys. Did you catch that? Robert says, but Megamind had the whole thing under control. Well, now he's in Detroit. I'm really forward to see that happen there as well. So Ethan says if Beck can do that his whole career, he might be in the Hall of Fame. Look at that. Ethan's already putting him in the Hall of Fame.
Boy, oh boy, that drive in this morning with the McCullums must have just been floating.
Oh, it was. I don't even think we touched the road.
No, just floating along I-60 or whatever.
US 60. We're just we're all waving at everybody. Hey, folks, have a good day. Hey, folks. Hey, you're number 1 too. Come on back, folks. It's the main event. And we're back here, of course, leading with the story of the day. Book your Cardinals Super Bowl tickets.
Oh, Steven.
People are going to, later on the season, they're going to be like, I thought you said you was going to the Super Bowl. Obviously, you're not getting the joke there, folks, on my part. Having some fun with it there, but just...
Well, you and your twin, Steve Keim, comes out
Yeah.
and says that he would start Carson Beck.
And I don't agree with that. I've said it all along. Jacoby Brissett last year, and you can go, he only had 1 win. I get it. But he moved the offense last year on an offense that wouldn't move, and with a receiver that wasn't very good last year, Marvin Harrison Jr. You're coming in this year with a new offense, new set. Jacoby Brissett should be your starter, and he should have a chance to win some games to begin the season. He's earned that right. I believe so. Now, if he doesn't win the games, Carson Beck the rest of the way. End of story. But I do believe Brissett should get the start. He's your best chance to win games early. I'm sorry, Carson. As much as I love Carson Beck,
Yeah.
against that week 2 Seattle here in Phoenix, I'm sorry. Your best bet to win that game or be competitive is Brissett in that game.
Right.
And that's all I mean. But it doesn't mean you wait till week 12 when you got the Jets and those crappy teams coming up. Beck should be starting with Kansas City. If you're 0-5, 1-6, and you're going nowhere, okay, Beck time. Throw him in there. Let's see what he can do. Change it up a little bit. That's how I would do it personally. And part of that is the strength of schedule. I don't think Beck is, but you never know. But I don't think Beck's one of those guys. He's very physical. He takes the hits. But I don't want to find out if he's one of those guys that gets his brain beat in the first year and then just never is the same afterward. I don't want to find out if he's that kid.
Well,
and starting him, you might get that. You might find that out. You might find out whether he is or he isn't.
And I agree with you. I think, again, when you look at it, the only thing this does is obviously gives you fun stuff to talk about for a week. And know that, yes, he can throw football and he can lead a team. And again, it is preseason. I'm keeping that all in perspective.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
I'm having fun with it, but I'm keeping
we
it in
could have
perspective.
came in here today and they could have scored 0 points. There could have been 3 picks and 2 fumbles. And
play calling could have been just a trope. We're all going, what kind of play call was that?
Yeah.
Look how giddy I am on a 4th and 5, folks, and they threw it 20 yards down the field. Look how giddy I am over that. Oh, freaking the statue and they just ruined me, man. They just ruined me with the Cardinals. Hey, Dale, other football news. Playoff football happening this weekend again. For local news out there, your Arizona Rattlers, the 3 seed, going to San Diego as well. Front Wave Arena, 4:30 p.m. our time here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. For those of you watching on the East Coast, Rattlers San Diego Strike Force are the afternoon game at 4:30. Winner goes to the IFL Championship game down in Tucson. On the eastern side, you got Tulsa and Green Bay Blizzard battling it out there. That'll be 1 p.m. our time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. all on Yahoo Sports coming up this weekend as well. San Diego Rattlers swept San Diego twice. So the way the playoffs have gone, the team that got swept twice has beaten the team that swept them.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is good or bad. And unless the San Diego lost the game at their new, they've been in this arena 2 years now. This is their second year in this specific arena. They hadn't lost a game in this arena till the Rattlers beat them on July 4th weekend. I don't think they lost another game there afterwards. So there's only one team that's beaten them in this arena, and it's the Rattlers. They did it July 4th weekend when both teams still had a bunch to play for.
Right.
And they swept them. They beat them first game of the season as well. This is just going to be a fun, hard-nosed battle. I have a game this weekend.
Who are you picking?
I'm going to go Rattlers in this one. I was
Really?
thinking about it last night. The defense sets them apart right now, but I'm a little worried. You know what wrinkle can come up here? A little overthinking by coach, and Dalton Snead's in this game
Ooh.
with no timing or something to that. Or Drew Powell gets into this game. Not that I think they're bad quarterbacks, but you're having success right now.
Right.
Don't rock that boat. Just keep it going. Now, Myler goes out there and has 3 interceptions, and you're down by 25. That's a different story.
But there's nothing that gives you that
No.
indication.
No, not at all. But so, Coach Guy's a phenomenal coach, man. But he mainly in the regular season, but he does have a tendency to overthink things and thinks he's smarter than everybody else, and it can backfire on you. That worries me about this. I do think the Rattlers are going to be in the championship game. That defense just sets apart from everything else. And the quarterback for San Diego, the big dude, Davis, big dude. You know, he doesn't run very often, and if he does, it's the 1 yard to get into the end zone on a 1 yard play. He doesn't run very much, so your defense is going to be able to hone in a little bit more with passing routes and things to that effect. And they got best defense in the league, so it's going to be fun to watch. I think it'll be Green Bay, Arizona in the championship game. If I was a betting man, I'm not going to bet on it, but if I was a betting man, I'd say that. The other reason I want to bring that up is because, Dale, we have the official first team Rattlers here, first team IFL guys on this.
Okay.
I told you Arlen Bruce IV. I'd be shocked if he's not part of that. Just phenomenal receiver from Iowa. Unbelievable year this year. Offensive lineman Christopher Strouder was named to the team for the second consecutive season. Phenomenal. My problem with Strouder is phenomenal blocker, and it's the weirdest thing, Dale. You've talked about this a lot. During the game, he's the one that last year and the beginning of this year, he'll get mad at somebody and get a unsportsmanlike penalty or something, and he'll just be angry. And he's a big dude, and he'll just literally just road grade guys out there. Phenomenal talent. And then you see him after the game, and he's just like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's so great to be here." And you're like, "How do you go from that to that in a span of 10 minutes?"
It's the talent of an offensive lineman, Stephen.
They were doing a jersey auction, and me and Autumn were standing, kind of off to the side, and he was standing by us, just joking around, laughing. And I literally looked at Autumn and I go, "That guy was like shoving that guy on the field and pushing him and like swearing him up and down and doing whatever he was saying to him, just royally pissed off to the point where like I was scared for the other guy." Now he's just Mr. Happy-go-lucky out there. It's pretty funny to watch, but for him. But he did get the first team as well. Arlen Bruce, of course, his, it's his second year in the league. It's the first with the Rattlers. I don't know what team let him go last year, but mistake there. He's just unbelievable. Short. He loves contact coming from Iowa. I asked him that early in the year. We had a chance to interview him. And I asked him early in the year, and I was like, "Man, when you catch the ball, he goes, 'Oh, I came from Iowa. We look for contact.'" And I was like, he got like excited about it. And I was like, "All right, man." It was great to see him as well. Then on the defensive side, McKee Sr. And Carl Decius both won it as well. All rookie. They won an all rookie team earlier this year, and now their first team also for IFL for them as well. So
That's really cool, being a rookie and being all IFL. Yeah.
They just interception machines. The Rattlers led the league in interceptions And I think they led the league in interceptions as well. Meaning, individually, it was 1 and 2. That's how many.
Right.
There was a game where they had like 5 interceptions, and it was those two guys just trading them back and forth. It was an amazing thing to watch earlier this year. I think that was it's either San Antonio or New Mexico where they did that. It was just like, because we were charting it, and Autumn does the interceptions and turnovers, and she's just like putting ones next to them.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the world just happened? So just give a shout out to them as well. Of course, Kevin Guy, 17 seasons as head coach. Western Conference Championship again. It's just when he retires, are they just going to rename the Western Conference Champions or the trophy the Kevin Guy Award?
You would love that.
Dale, here's the thing. I'm thinking about this. I might just hop in the car Sunday morning, drive to San Diego. We'll go to the game and then drive back. Because I don't know if I can watch that Yahoo Sports feed again.
Well, just hire your driver. Have Ethan.
I wonder if it's too late to get to email get my press credentials there. But no, and also I was thinking about that today where I'm like, this morning, I'm like, man, I don't know if I could sit through another announcer feed. The announcers were fine. Like I said, it's more of the gimmicks on the other side. I didn't like as well.
Oh, the guy on the
side.
field.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they had a guy on the sideline in the suit that was really good. He was professional and not a clown out there. Gonna be fun, Dale. I'm looking forward to this weekend. Playoff football coming up as well. Robert says on our YouTube chat, don't forget, 623-252-6670. We got the Torrey needs to go. Did you see this? Gambo came out. He's friends with Torrey. Keep this in mind. He came out and said Torrey should be considered for manager of the year.
Yeah.
And here, I'm going to shock some people here. I agree with that. He needs to be in the conversation of it. Will he win it? No. A couple other managers I would favor. He should be in the conversation if they stay in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
He should be in the conversation for it. And I'm going to go a step farther. He's probably due for an extension.
Look
If
at
they
you.
if they stay in the playoff
Yeah.
hunt. Do I agree with it, Dale? No. But he's probably due for an extension, a 2-year extension, a 1 or 2 year extension's probably coming his way if they stay in the hunt.
Everything.
Even if they miss the playoffs, folks, but they're in the hunt, Torrey could get an extension, and he probably deserves one, is what I'm telling you. Yes, folks, you're not having a heart attack. You heard it properly. It's just weird feelings you have going through you because I just said all that.
You look at what he's done with what he has.
Yeah.
You look at the injuries they've encountered. And again, every team has injuries.
Yeah, but they have 200. I don't know what the number is. They have $200 million sitting on the injured list all season long.
Yes. Which, if you're mature enough to take a step back and go, if these guys were playing, what would this team look like?
Well,
And I know it's ifs and buts, and I know it's sports, and I know all that. But at the end of the day, if somehow, someone they can win 2 games against the Dodgers this weekend,
yeah.
well, what are you yelling and screaming if you're a Diamondback fan right now? If they've lost 6 in a row like the Dodgers,
Right?
huh? Well, what are you yelling and screaming?
Dodgers fans don't even care. They're like,
Yeah.
we'll be all right.
Yeah, and it sucks because they lost 6 in a row. They get a day off.
I don't like
No.
this. I don't like that because they're going to come in a little fired up and
Yes.
angry, right? I don't like that feeling. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it realistically and you put I'm going to call it Torrey hate, even though I don't hate Torrey. I think he's a good manager. I just think we need a voice change here. I just do. I feel that way. But think about this. If this was Torrey's 3rd year in the league and you just missed the playoff twice for 2 years, this year you're in the hunt again, whether you get over the top or not with all the injuries, you're not clamoring for him to get fired.
No.
But
But 10
we
years
have that
in-
feeling because of 10 years. We have that feeling out there and stuff like that. So Robert says, Gambo's friends with Torrey? I am shocked. Then Ethan goes, you're crazy. He needs to go. I don't disagree. Like I said, I agree with you. I think we need a voice change in the Diamondbacks. Do I think Torrey can get us over that hump? I do not. is. I think he's a fantastic coach. He gets more out of his teams than he should, right? 100%. You're seeing that this year. But I don't think he can get you. So the question is that I have, Dale, is you do a management change, you do a voice change, you upgrade that just a hair. Does that get you over that hump with the talent you have? It could go south on you, but I don't think Torrey's the guy that can consistently get you into the playoffs and be World Series challengers every year. I think you need an improvement there for that to happen.
Well, to me, what's fascinating is if you do start going down that line and going, hey, whether they fade off as the season goes along and you start thinking about, well, maybe it's time to make a change at manager.
Yeah. GM as well.
Do you also think about letting the GM go?
Yeah. If they fade out of this playoff hunt, I said it yesterday with Lou. I told Lou, my opinion on the Diamondbacks right now, they better make the playoffs. They are in the catbird seat with 42 games left, 41 games left. They better be in the playoffs. And if they're not in the playoffs, they better be one game out going to the last game of the season and just lose out for some weird reason. If they go on a slide at all, clear them out. Absolutely clear them out. If you're 2, 3, 4 games out of the wild card at the end, nope, clear them out. Not good enough with this talent that you have on this team. There's too much talent on this team. Forget about the injured guys. There's too much talent out there. So, yeah, if they do a slide, Dale, absolutely. But if you're in the playoff hunt, changes the conversation. And I think they'll extend him if they stay in this hunt. Even if they miss it on the last day of the year, I think they're in the hunt, and they're going to hear that. Well, look what he did with all the talent, with all the injuries. That's what you're going to hear from him. Me personally, I think that's the way they'll go. Me personally, it's a time for a voice change. And get somebody that can do what Torrey does, get more out of less, but also can push the buttons to get you over the top. I don't think Torrey's that guy that can get us over the top consistently. He can occasionally get you to the World Series if things fall in your way right and stuff like that. But this team's been good enough the last 3 years that we should be talking about a 4th playoff appearance this year.
Well, the thing to me is,
Fifth
so if you're looking at the manager, he's responsible for the product on the field and how the team plays and mental mistakes, things like that. But I'm sorry, I think you could bring in Billy Martin. You could bring in whoever you want to, Hall of Fame coaches.
You think Billy Martin can do well, with his current state?
But when Perdomo,
he's dead, folks.
who was an all-star or MVP candidate last year, he's batting .242.
Yep.
Corbin Carroll, your lightning rod, your excitement, he gets on base, good things happen.
He's getting better, but he's improving.
But right now he's still hitting .245.
He's been struggling for the last couple.
And then if everybody keeps telling me he's your best player, Ketel Marte. He's batting .248
when he plays. When he doesn't need a rest.
.248
on a big game.
Yeah, when your 3 quote unquote most important dudes are all batting under .250.
Yeah.
And yet you're still in the playoffs if they start today.
He does more with less.
Yeah.
He does. But I think guys that can do more with less can only get you so far is what I'm getting at.
Well, what happens when they get more?
Better be World Series contenders.
Yeah. I mean, if those guys are all hitting around 300.
But Ann brings up the point that this is why I favor a voice change. It's because she brings this up. I noticed it, and Ann's talking about a different situation. I'll bring this up in a second. But what have I talked about on this program? Going into that Dodgers series before the All-Star break, Pavin Smith, they stick to him, they stick with him, they stick with him, they stick with him. Boom, DFA him. Zach Gallen, stick with him, stick with him. The week of his IL stint, oh, we know what Zach Gallen can do. We're sticking with him. Even Derek Hall's talking about how great we know Zach Gallen. They put him on the IL. This team goes and sweeps the Dodgers, comes out of the All-Star break and is on fire. It's a different vibe to the team. The team has a pep to their step now and stuff to that stuff, right? Kepler gets on this team. Struggles at the beginning, but he's woken up a little bit. Newt Barr, Ann brings this up. that last night on the broadcast for the Diamondbacks, they mentioned just how adding Nootbaar and even Kepler, there seems to be a little different of a vibe on this team. This team ebbs and flows with vibes and who's doing what. We've seen it a lot over the last 10 years. And they stick with guys because they trust them. They didn't do it with Seawald, thank God, this time. But they did it in 2023 where they kept sticking with him and stuck with him, stick with him. But they did it with Pavin Smith and Zach Gallen. You can put the vibe out there where you can stifle the locker room and put doubt into their minds and stuff to that effect. But that's changed. That has changed since the All-Star break, which is those two DFAs, adding a couple guys. There's a different pep to the step with this team right now that you didn't have before with making moves. Adding guys that are contributing, getting rid of guys that aren't. Just changes it. And that goes to that voice problem that I just can't get out of my head. Why did we have to keep dealing with remember last year with the third base coach? They stuck with him for 3 months too long before forcing to finally make the move. It's just, those things stifle you. You need I think if they make those decisions quicker, you got a team that can go over the top. And they refuse to make those changes sooner. And it stifles the team and puts us in these situations. And that's where I get frustrated.
When you bring that kind of stuff up, then it begs the question in my mind, well, who's holding on to him too long?
The GM.
Is it?
Well,
is it all about? I'm just saying, who's making that final decision? Is it the
Reportedly,
GM?
it's the GM. My feeling is it's the GM.
Yeah. So
I really believe that.
So then, how can you blame Torey for that?
Well, you can't. But Torey goes along with it. Throw a fit. Throw something. Yell something. It goes to my point of, Torey doesn't like people on the mound acting out, and showing some emotion out there. He doesn't like that. Let him have some emotion. Let him show some emotion out there. Walt Schmidt makes an unbelievable catch in the outfield, with his big defensive stance. What's the next thing they do? They bring Barossa in as a defensive replacement. And it's like, did you just not see Walt Schmidt make this unbelievable over-the-head catch in the outfield?
Yes.
And you say you can't be trusted out there in the ninth inning, so you got to bring Barossa in? You can't tell me those decisions mess with that stuff. And that's just where I get frustrated with it. But that's the thing. Ann brings it up. I've noticed it. The broadcast obviously has noticed it if they're mentioning it. Like I said, I did not pay attention to the Diamondbacks game last night in real time because of the Cardinals. I didn't want to be bummed out after the Cardinals deal and everything. So it is interesting. Ann says, I think some of the guys appreciate their fresh voices and eyes. So if the new players can do that, what can a manager change do? I know, and I don't even know who the manager could be, But you saw that with the Cardinals last year. Was it last year or the year before? They were supposed to be terrible. They changed managers, got a young manager in there. And they played above themselves last year. Then they ended up selling at the trade deadline for other reasons and stuff like that. Now, it could go the opposite way. It could be that Nebraska situation where you go, we're Nebraska. We don't win 9 games a year. Yeah, you're right. You win 6 now. Congratulations. You could go that way. But it's just you've seen this team get a pep to their step. You've seen them, the struggles with it and stuff. And all that being said, I'm just telling you guys, Torey should be in the conversation for manager of the year. And they should be thinking about an extension if they stay in this hunt and make the playoffs with what he's done this year.
No.
It should have. It's the way to look at it. Do I agree with it? No. But if I'm the Diamondbacks and knowing their history and their perspective, that's probably what's coming. So I just wanted to make everybody brace on that. And yes, I said it, folks. He should be in the conversation for. Do I think he'll win it? No. There's a couple other coaches I would favor. But he's got to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, just with the young guys. Hey, folks, I know Drake struggled last night. I get it. He's going to go down. Soroka looks like Monday. I did see Jack Summers post and go, looked like they made their decision. I've seen Erod as the starter on Sunday for 4 days now before they said they might move Soroka into that spot. So I don't know if it is settled or if they're still talking about putting Soroka into that. But I would also, Soroka's coming back. I would also say pitch him against the Rockies, right? Dare I say this, and I don't mean it derogatory, easier batting lineup to come back to than the Dodgers on Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Except for the Dodgers are 0-6 their last 6 games,
Yeah,
Steve.
they haven't been hitting at all either. As
Which
well.
means what?
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
As soon as they lost to the Cubs on Wednesday, I went, "Oh crap!"
Take all their frustration out. And they said the 3 games are almost all sold out,
Yeah.
and it's going to be at least half Dodgers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Dodgers fans. Yeah. Whatever. Wear your bulletproof vest and whatever stabbing gear you have to protect yourself, folks. I'm just telling you now. Second hour main event coming up next. Send that complaint to Dale Helmstraight, would you?